All right, well, let's go ahead and get tonight going with
Oh my
session
god.
30 of Business in Lahles. Of course, we'll check in with each of our players, see how everyone's week was. Sounds so far that everyone's at least in a good mood. But, Krev, how was your week?
Good, good. Nice to have a short work week. Happy Memorial Day, by the way, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice and short. I thought I went all day today thinking today was Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Fucked me up.
Tomorrow's Friday, y'all. It's Friday Eve.
Imagine. Thirsty Thursdays.
It's in this fucking chat. Jesus Christ.
Disregard.
Trace, how was your week?
Good.
Anything special happen? Guess not.
Got him.
Kadir, how was your week?
Doing great. Thanks for asking.
And Onyx, how about you?
Could have been a lot better. Deck of Mondays again. But I'm on my way out, so. Yay.
Got any more interviews lined up?
Hell yeah.
Nice.
You know it. That hustle was real.
That's good.
Yeah.
And Rekid, how was your week?
It's good. I actually just got back from Dave and Buster's.
Nice.
Nice.
We were celebrating the end of Isaac's school year. Today was the last day of school for him.
Aww.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you play any games?
Yeah. Played DDR and Guitar Hero, a Halo game.
There's a Halo game there now.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't sound like you were too excited about that. yeah. It was
was good.
Halo. All right. Well, I'm glad that each of you had a good week, or at least for Onyx's case, the week is almost over and on the way out anyways, so maybe the deck of Mondays doesn't matter as much. But who would like to take the lead on the recap for last week?
All right, guess I will. So there we were in the town of Whitebridge, having just slain a Wanty leader of that had infiltrated that city. And we needed to come up with an escape plan, so we literally just strolled across town, almost I would say broad daylight, but broad day night. Walked down to the docks, found a boat, found another boat, put the second boat on the first boat, and then set sail to Lahles. While out at sea, the winds did not favor us. And we soon noticed that there were mysterious ships on the horizon, blockading our movement, but not aggressively so. Just keeping their distance. We followed the coast northwest. I started making armor, and other people did some other things. I can't remember. I don't take notes. We continued heading west along the shoreline until we reached an inlet leading to a bay closer to Lahles. One of us turned into a shark, probably the person who's a druid. I can't remember. AKA
Nice.
Matt.
I was a fish that one
No, I
time.
don't think it was the druid.
I mean, to be fair, Rekid has been a fish twice now, so
Nah, I turned into a snake and then a shark. I help pull on the boat. You gotta stay
Yes.
like the really narrow rivers. In
Uh,
I guess it's not really a peninsula. It's more just the rivers heading towards the docks into Wales, I guess.
well, we didn't go to the docks of Lahles.
Right.
We pitched our boat in the middle of the forest in order to keep it hidden, and then walked to the northwest gate of Lahles, whereupon we met. Second in command, Riffin Rao, who was wildly drunk. and definitely on duty.
And we basically reprimanded him, telling him he needs to not be drunk
Yeah,
while on duty.
we
Yeah.
and we're pretty sure he won't listen to us at all, and he will continue getting drunk in broad daylight, not broad day night. Very different. So he will continue. He will probably continue getting wildly blasted and bringing down morale until he causes other people to die. I'm sure that conflict is incoming. We discovered that Renus, had disappeared from the city supposedly, and that the actual leader of the city, not the second in command,
Wrecker.
Bradgar, thank you. Bradgar Grin was upset, thinking that we had abandoned the city in its moment of need. Well, turned out we were just on a quest for Renus, and we're about to go talk to Bradgar so we can explain that to him, and hopefully get some answers as to Renus's whereabouts. But my guess, somebody hid something from us, and it was either Renus or Bradgar.
Or both.
Realistically, it probably was both.
I'm starting to think there's a real problem with alcoholism in this world. I mean, we need to like start taking care of that.
And it will only get bigger the closer this siege the worse this siege gets.
Civilians turn to alcohol, adventurers turn to violence, you know.
Until
Oh,
someone
Rickett
takes
turns to
down
alcohol.
Ailbringer, there will always be an alcohol problem.
Yeah. I mean, some of
Nice.
us partake in both. I mean, Wrecked, case in point. But
Well, what if he had to pick?
good question, Wrecked. What would you
It's
pick?
There are actually a few other details that I did want to bring into that. One, Rekid found a secret letter stuffed into a fake wall by the 1T, indicating that they had already attacked Millstone and Golden Leaf. Another important detail: we absconded with some supplies from the storage room. There was some boxes of food, I believe, large crates of food, which I absconded with me into the dream, aka third. I basically ported it all into a very large bag of holding.
Also, in that note that specifically called out Bradgar's name, we had mentioned, although we think that's pretty much common knowledge, though, so it's. I don't know if that's an important detail or not, but.
Oh yes, the 1T obviously know who Bradgar is, right?
They knew who our city's leader is, I guess, if you will. They'd probably assume he's our king or whatever.
So, what is an interesting there is an interesting point to be made there. They didn't indicate on the map that it was Lahles. They indicated on the map that it was Bradgar, which makes me think that Lahles actually is not their target. It's Bradgar.
Unless their like culture names cities after the king or leader.
That is a massive assumption.
Oh well, I mean, again, we're spitballing here, but yeah, it could be what you said too. We just don't know.
I think Occam's razor. I think it's more likely that they have something against Bradgar, that they would call this area after him instead of naming it the city.
I mean, it could be just they're playing chess and trying to take down the king, and then assuming the city will fall after. You know,
that seems more likely than the cultural.
Yeah. I mean, they might not have a vendetta against him in particular. It could just be that they're trying to take down the leader of the city. I mean, they could have a vendetta against him. We don't know.
Rekid, you're fired.
Oh.
The Bradgar meme?
Oh.
The Brad the Gar? All right, so for those of you who can't see, Rekid, who hosts his own animal podcast, posted a picture of a garfish with the text imposed over it, Brad. So it is a Brad Gar.
Oh, I did not know that was a gar. I didn't see
Brad
that.
alligator garfish.
Anyhow,
In case anyone didn't know what Bradgar's middle name is, it is indeed
alligator.
Oh,
of course.
well
It's
then.
like, oh, that is very convenient.
may have just
In that
actually been
case.
changed right at this moment.
All right. Did my completely by memory with 0 notes whatsoever satisfy the walk-in? The story retelling.
There's a little bit of details that were I guess maybe glossed over, but may not be too important. The fact that what you're crafting is mixed with Umber Hulk paste and the scales of a queen of the Yonti, and also Rekid's awesome attempts at finding the wind by spinning
yeah.
his finger. I feel like that deserves a note for the the recap as well. Um, but more importantly, the food that you had found, bringing back that, and then a couple of samples of the ale and water, and finding there to be a bit of tampering with the ale.
That is a great point. I had forgotten about the ale that Trace had found, or rather that he had collected and studied. Do you want to explain that?
I can't actually remember what it was, but I was tampered with it at least. I
Uh,
don't do notes either.
the liquor or rather, it was either liquor, water, or both. But you started testing them you collected a sample from the city Whitebridge, started testing them, found out that it was magically inclined, at which point pulled the rest of us into studying it, and we found out that it had an illusory aura to it, and
That's very true, yeah.
it was probably used as a potion to disguise people as normal humans.
Oh, I actually have that written down.
Oh,
Oh, good thing you remember.
Only because my memory was jogged.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will say that it was a pretty good recap, to say the least. Just to double check, does anyone have anything else that they'd like to add in?
Onyx is making weird sounds.
Hmm?
You were making weird sounds.
Yeah, I heard it. I thought it might have just actually been ZZ Top, but either way. Let's go ahead and get into tonight's story with this. Continuing on, getting towards the very early evening hours of May 8th, year 1101, just after speaking with Riffin, scolding him a bit about drinking while on watch, the plans to speak with Bradgar and then check on the boys back at the Whispers of Life Tower due to the rumors of from Sir Riffin, Renus to be missing for the past couple days. It is fairly late into the afternoon, as you can see the sun already beginning to set and the night sky already beginning to stretch across from the eastern horizon. The stars are out in full effect. You can see each of them sparkling quite a bit in the night sky. No moon to be seen. As each of you are making your way from the northwestern gate, on your way to the guild hall, I'm still assuming?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So making your way there, can each of you give me a perception check?
Yeah.
So you all make your way through the city of Lahles, the streets.
I'm continuing my streak from last game.
Nice.
As long as you don't continue it into the next battle.
Oh, 17 and 19, so we're not that bad.
Rekid and Kadir, I mean, all seems pretty normal as you're strolling about. Notice that there's a decent amount of guild members patrolling the area. Trace, Onyx, on top of what was previously stated, both of you will notice the city on the civilian life side seems to be very still and scarce. More so, just the higher normal than number amount of guild members patrolling. Krev, with all that on top of that, you will see a face of a child that is hidden away in the alley off to your west.
Is it like a human?
Face of a child, not a child. What?
Like a detached face is what you're saying?
No, like you just like catch like a glimpse of like a face. It's like kind of like peeking through like a peephole.
Right,
Peeping,
like that.
peeping Tom, gotcha. Um, is it like human kid or?
Yes,
Okay.
you'll be able to note that it is a little boy.
Like how far from us is that?
About 15, 20 feet. Just off to the side of the alleyway, tucked behind like a little bit of a barrel.
I like kind of tilt my head, like looking at him, like, "Are you okay, kid?"
You see just the child hide, obscuring himself from your sight.
Maybe they're in martial law right now or something. I mean, I think they kind of were, but I think it's like gotten worse. It seems like.
I mean, to be fair, they've been like under siege for a while now, right? I mean, they must be getting to the kids and so on. They can feel like there's something going on between the adults, right? And who knows? Maybe they don't even tell the kids what's actually going on.
Maybe.
Yes, kids will sense tension, of course.
Yes. Human kids are weird.
Do we see an adult nearby that this kid is obviously with?
Oh, no, not with the kid. I was gonna say other than the guild members, no.
I walk towards the child in the alleyway.
Okay. As you make your way over, you just see a little boy in very tattered clothing and like hiding behind a barrel with dirty blonde hair. Looks up to you and you see these light colored green eyes, face quite covered in mud and muck.
Child, what is your name?
He just shakes his head. Just shaking his head no.
Where are your
Interesting
parents?
name.
They should be taking care of you, keeping you clean. And I use prestidigitation to kind of like shuffle the grime off of him.
He gives a bit of a smile, like feeling himself to be slightly more clean, but still does not speak, just continues to shake his head. No.
Looking at his eyes, do I sense an illusion or see one?
You see snake eyes?
Yeah.
No snake eyes.
Okay.
He puts out his hand and like opens it up with the palm facing upwards.
High five.
Ace is low. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, if it is rations you want, and I'll hand one out. And I guess I'll remove that. I'll remove that from my inventory.
When you hand him the ration, he gives you a nice swarming smile and then scampers into the darkness down the alleyway.
All right, I go back to walking to the guild. This situation will quickly become untenable.
Yes. But I thought they had food enough for some time.
Well, the situation seems to have changed.
I can't remember the exact number we were given, but I think we were told that we had a decent amount of supplies, food-wise, right? In the city?
Well,
Yes.
perhaps the storehouse was hit. Perhaps they ran out early.
That could
I'm-
be, yeah.
I'm surprised. I believed that they had resources for a few months, but especially,
Yeah.
and if the populace is dwindling, that would only become less of a problem.
And it would be
But
kind of unwise to store everything in one place. I mean, a city wouldn't do that, right? It would store it several places.
Well, I presume most of it gets stored at the guild hall, but
Yeah, in the homes of people, I assume, right?
one would hope. But we should not assume that good decisions are always being made.
It's true.
Also, this city seems to have enough of difficulty defending itself to also defend spread out supplies. May
Yeah.
only worsen. All right, let's go to the hall.
I'm going to stay outside and keep an eye out. It's still dark, right? Or is it day?
I mean, it's more, like, it's doesn't have a lot of natural light due to the new moon. So no real light in the sky except for just the bits of stars. But it's not completely dark yet. It's still just a little bit after dusk.
I'm going to conjure whipping chair. What's it called? Conjure chair and straw hat and stay outside.
All right. Well, then the rest of you make your way inside the large double doors into the Corn Silk Rat Guild Hall. You see that there is a bit of an uplift amongst the guild members that are here. A couple of smiles, the clanking of tankards, and just a tad bit of laughter as well. However, looking around, Renus is not to be seen. However, just, well, just the familiar faces of some of the guild members, but no one of significance.
Let's ask the waitress if Brad Garzen.
Hi, how you doing?
Hello. Is Brad Gar in his office right now?
She'll shake her head no. Last I saw, he went down into the cellar.
Very well. We will follow him. Thank you.
And you make your way down. With the
Question.
Yes.
Oh God. The cellar is where they store corpses, isn't it?
Well, it's also where we had a prisoner, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's not mourning. Green, anyhow.
Maybe he's got a kink with a, Yuan-Ti. Who
Or
knows?
maybe Renus died.
Oh, that would be bad.
That would indeed
Yep.
be very bad.
Maybe killed them.
Well, as you, damn Onyx, jumping
I
right to
mean-
conclusions, huh?
She said
other
maybe.
conclusions have been done before.
We've assumed larger things. We're not assuming it yet, but it is a possibility.
Anything's possible. Well, as you make your way down, the sounds of the music from the tavern floor begins to fade. As you continue, you do smell the decaying bits of flesh from the dead corpses you all know to be down here. It's fairly quiet. other than the echoes from the noises above.
Perception check. Do I hear or see Bradgar?
Sure. But you do not see him at the moment.
15.
The stench is just a bit unbearable. It's having to cover up a little bit. It makes, squint in the eyes. You do not notice anything.
Are there multiple rooms to the basement?
Mm-hmm. There's a few areas where, what's the word I'm looking for? Cellars, or not cellars, but cells for prisoners.
Let's check over there.
Well, as you make your way down, first one on your right, empty. Look over to the left. You see on the for that one there to be quite a bit of dried blood, where you know that there to be a decent amount of corpses. However, no more corpses, but it still smells as if they were still there. Make your way to the next one on the right, where you know the Yanti to be kept. However, the Yanti is not there. Instead, you see Bradgar. His back to you. He keeps eyes away as you just hear his voice. Who disturbs me?
Kadir and crew?
He'll turn, and you see his face a bit angered. I thought that each of you wanted to be a part of this guild and protect the city. Where have you been?
On a mission for Renus. Where is
And
Renus?
where is Renus? I guess you both give the same question nearly simultaneously.
Do I feel like he's asking this sincerely?
I'm gonna insight that actually his question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you should incite Kadir.
I mean, Bradgar. Yeah.
Oh
You.
God.
Anybody else?
I'll go for it.
Ah, yes,
Well,
the wisest
all
of
those
them all.
participating in the conversation?
Oh,
Can I insight
well,
from the outside?
You can do insight from where you are, Trace, but it will be at disadvantage and -10.
The 6. Oh.
Somewhere,
Never
somewhere,
mind.
somehow, somewhere, he feels that something is okay.
As he tips his straw hat. Everything's gonna be alright. I mean, each of you feel that the question is pretty sincere. Other than having a bit of tone of anger amongst it, with the clear indication of really wondering where each of you had been. Well, he seems to be telling the truth. Well, then you don't know either.
I do not. He sent us east to the temple.
He'll nod. You'll see a bit of calmness kind of come over his face. Still, a tad bit angry. Well, if he's been gone for a few days, then there's really only one place that he could be.
The portal? Or...
No. We've let Renus take a bit of time to study and try to figure things out. Wonder what else can be done. But
No.
no worries. And where have each of you been? You said the temple. To the north?
We cannot merely breeze over this. Where is Renus?
He has just not left the tower in a few days.
You're sure?
If you wish to find out, you can go there and see for yourselves. And if he wishes to tell you what he was... He kind of rocks his head back and forth, shrugging his shoulders, participating in, well then he can. But that is his business.
So... I am confused. He disappeared. Everyone is worried and nobody checked where he lives?
You do understand that there are a bit of precautions on who can enter within the tower.
Alright. Fair enough.
Well, as he kind of looks around, he then outstretches his arm, gesturing towards the cell behind you. Think that each of you would be pleased to see that we've been able to give the dead at least a bit of a rightful burial. Some, even a warrior's death.
So... We also bring back some... Oh, what's that? Erica?
Sounded like she just called somebody an asshole.
Yeah, that's about what that sounded like. Alright, so I don't know what's, where were we? I'm sorry?
Renus, I had to think about it for a moment. I kind of lost my train of thought too. Renus gesturing towards the removal of a good amount of the dead that were being stored down below.
Well, I suppose we'll... Oh, please,
There.
go ahead, Krav.
Was it safe to... Where did you bury them? I know previously they would attack whenever you tried to bury the dead.
Well, it seems that Samira had inadvertently done us a bit of a favor, occupying the west of the river.
Well, I don't know if you're aware, we realize there's also a blockade to the north.
They won't be able to do much from there. Ships of that size won't be able to make their way through the canals and the straits.
Yes, the one we took from White Bridge could barely get through, and only because I guided it in one of my wild shape forms.
Good thinking. With the way Renus has, well, been indisposed, I've found it best to keep a good amount of intel to myself, with Riffin being a bit more partial to the ale as of late. It doesn't seem wise to give tales of what has happened, but it's best, it seems, that you traveled by sea then, avoiding the fire to the north.
Yes. I look at Kadir. chuckle. You mentioned Riffin. We actually came through that gate and, well, seemed kind of drunk on the job.
Nothing new. He hasn't left the northwest side for the past few days.
Right. I know he doesn't, suspect us, but he really should be checking everyone coming through to make sure they're not spies. That's the whole point of being a spy. They can take the change of other people. The shape of other people, rather.
Yes, we've increased patrols and been dealing with such things. However, fights, theft have been on the rise.
He's just not
Seems
seems
that
to be.
it's more and more anger that grows within the city and the people itself.
Yes.
But then, what news? Hopefully something good. Must have found something going back, being at that temple for so long.
Well, we also went past the temple. We went as far out as Whitebridge to see what the 1T presence was like out there as well, as we had previously discussed. Unfortunately, it seems the situation is worse than we had thought.
Then I'll take it that the path is not open for any trade.
Whitebridge, Millstone, and Golden Leaf have been wiped out.
Yes, Whitebridge
What do
only
you
had
mean,
4.
wiped out? There's nothing there?
No, they've been supplanted by spies. The 100 people in Whitebridge, 96 of them are spies now. Only 4 that remain are human, including sorry, what's his name?
Snot, as well as a
Not
few.
Garrick, Batra, and someone else. I can't remember.
We sent them here to the city.
Yes, Snot and Garrick have been helping me dispose of the bodies. Eric's
Yes.
a good family friend.
They are the only ones left that he knows of that are not replaced. Or rather, if I remember right, he said that those that left and then came back and then were different and had the snake eyes.
Yes.
So we can only assume they've been supplanted.
On top of that, we discovered that through a note that Rekid had discovered, that was how we learned about Millstone and Golden Leaf. We also killed the local head of the 1T and escaped the village with some supplies. We bring them now to you so that you may use them and distribute them fairly. You seem to be having some issues with food. We bring some.
We've got a decent amount of rations left to go about, but having everyone cut back, well, it's definitely not sat well with most of the commoners.
Well,
They find it to be theft. Fortunately, finding it best to keep the guild members fed for protection and protecting the people. But the people don't see it that way.
Grey Belly, you cannot argue with it. At any rate, we do. Is there a place where you would like us to deliver this food?
If you take it upstairs, Garrick's been overseeing the quartermaster spot since Sir Riffin's been on his binge. He'll make sure that it's being distributed. None of the food that you brought back will go to the guild. It should go to the people instead.
Very well. Afterwards, should we perhaps have a discussion as to what our next mission should be? I presume we must act quickly.
Hoping that each of you would return relatively quickly. Being gone nearly a week, I've been able to, well, find that time to be at a bit of rest, if you will. Our scouts have found and even captured some runaways from Samira's camp. They seem to have been having to deal with the Yanti to the west. From what has been told, even finding a temple, as as each of you have done to the north. And with that, plans to secure a ship and head to the south, well, may have been smiled upon since you stole some poor folks' ship back at Whitebridge.
Well,
The ship
at
might
this
as
point, it
well
was
have
most
been the
like
1T. So
yes, with the 96% or whatever it is of their population becoming Auntie, I doubt it was all in the hands of one of ours.
Regardless, somebody owned it once. Whether they're still here walking Elista or have gone to another life. Nonetheless, the ship that you brought back, if you were able to go through the channels, then it's not that large, but it's able to carry each of you.
That's about
Yes.
it, yes.
I think we have a list, a laundry list of military targets at this point. We have the temple to the south, temple to the west. The temple to the east has been drawn out. The White Bridge has been dealt with, I think, to an extent. So we can count those two off. However, there are also ships to the north belonging to Samira, as well as Samira's cap, that must be dealt with. If I were to offer an analysis, you said that the western camp is causing issues for Samira. Therefore, destroying that camp first would clear the way for her. We may want to clear the temple to the south across the sea.
That is my thoughts precisely. With Yaren unable to make her way down... with Yaren unable to make her way down from Blucksmouth, then she has informed me that she will inquire some help in order to destroy the blockade. It just needs a little bit more time.
All right.
And
Well,
with
then.
your suggestion, I fully agree. You have your map on hand, I assume.
Yes.
Let me see.
I hand it over.
There. And he'll place a little mark indicating the little temple area just to the northwest. With Samira just being on the west side of the river, it seems that the Yanti have almost been a thorn in her side. If she is unable to figure out how to stop them, then they may even pull back, giving us more breathing room.
I'm surprised they set their camp so forwardly. That was a dire mistake for them.
My thought, well, my hypothesis, I should say, is with the wave that you had seen come down the river, that was just to push most of them into the lake in order to find way up a river and set a bit of a base. Regardless of its position, bad for them, good for us. As you said, the south seems to be the focus here. If we can clear that out, then we can open up the Empty Tide Sea once more, opening trade back up to Darkwell, being able to assist Golden Leaf, trade in Strathmore. It'll be almost as a new light shining upon Lahles.
Yes. I presume you still have ships that we would be able to use for trading once we get out there. Not for an attack.
The only ships still available are those owned by a few of the shop merchants around town. But any large ship that's gone out has... well, it hasn't come back. Most are hesitant. Which is good news that you've brought in yours.
I look to the party. So, are you in accord? Should we head out and take out the temple in the sea?
Yes.
Aye.
Do we have any further information on this temple in the sea? Do we know
It seems
much?
to be the first one.
And from what we can see from the coast, much larger than what you reported to the northeast.
So, are we still going to attempt the same mode of infiltration? You polymorph one of us into a whale, and the rest of us ride in its belly.
Oh, I had forgotten about that.
I hadn't.
Well, I can't use that spell yet. I have not learned it.
Oh
We are
no,
not powerful
Bradgar
enough.
polymorphs.
Oh.
He'll nod in agreement that I can. And with the breathing room that we've been given, I've been able to tighten up my spells over the past few days. So if you give me till the morning, I can send you off as early as then. And as from the looks of it, each of you seem a bit beaten up, bruised, slightly cut, but not as bad as when you had arrived coming back from the first temple.
I would like to ask, is there any other magic, any other magical fortifications, enchantments you can offer to embolden us on our way there?
It would be nice to get a rest. We still haven't rested since our fight at the other temple.
I can have a few extra potions secured for you, but I mean, you seem to be a bit more adept in that field. I don't know much of the manor.
Would we have time to prepare for this attack? To rest?
We will rest tonight, a short rest.
That's not gonna really help. We need our spells back.
Well, things have been calm for a bit of time. Perhaps we can cross our fingers and hope for the best.
Are you
maybe by
suggesting
then,
we wait? Are you suggesting we wait a week in the middle of a war?
I mean, we have to rest. That's just kind of the nature of what. I mean, everybody's gonna have to rest here to get their spells back for a week. That's how long it takes. You are different. from the rest of us.
I'm not suggesting that. My suggestion is that I think you might be the only one who's really down spell slots.
I don't know. I mean,
Trace, how are you on spell slots?
I'm not there.
You're what?
I'm outside.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But I'm good.
I have all of my wizard fist spell slots.
Well, I mean, I'm okay. I'm not good. I've used a few.
is Onyx with us?
Yeah,
How are you on your spells?
I'm
Do you
fine.
need the rest, or
I haven't used spells.
I'm having trouble hearing. Anything boost your
I
volume?
couldn't hear what you said. Erica?
I said I haven't used spells.
Oh, okay. All right.
How far down are you, Matt?
I mean, I'm not too bad. I've used one of my level 3s and most of my level 2s.
So you're probably about like half power then.
Yeah. So. I mean, I'll have my wild shapes, but just know that I'm not gonna be at full spell power for healing and shit. So. Can't really. I mean, I can bring people up, but don't depend on me for big healing.
I don't think you really have any big healing. I mean, you don't have. Do you have Mass Cure Wounds?
I don't think I even get that spell. But I mean, I usually just like upcast Cure Wounds.
Well, if you all need more time, then you can take the time that's needed. If you need to rest for a few days, then so be it.
Oh.
I guess my question is, are we on a time crunch right now to do this? Why is this a concern?
Why is it a concern?
Why is it a concern that we do this right now versus a week from now?
Oh, as a concern of like time, it's just unbeknownst if there's going to be an attack or anything of that manner.
Oh, okay. I for some reason it sounded like Kadir was saying we were on a time crunch, and that's...
No, he was
Well-
just Bradgar was just offering that he needs to get the spell prepared, and so he can do it as early as tomorrow from having the past few days of, I mean,
All right.
no combat or anything, but
I was just suggesting that if we're going into the biggest fight we've had yet, that we probably go in fresh.
Well, the thing with the siege is we're kind of on the losing side on the war of attrition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a trade-off for certain.
well, how much food did you bring back?
I mean, okay, I know I'm not there, but we're cutting it so close every time we battle. I mean, I think we almost need to have the spell slot, to be honest.
I have brought 2 crates. Probably. I mean, I have no clue how many what the poundage is, but
From the size of the crates, I mean, it's probably, I mean, full of meat, dried meat specifically, since that's kind of what you were looking for. I would say it's safe to a couple 100 pounds.
that's roughly what I would have guessed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never picked up a crate full of dried meat.
Yeah. Same.
Frozen, thawed out, that kind of stuff, yeah. But not that big. But yeah, I would safe to say probably close to a couple 100 pounds.
We could use the time. I suppose I could finish an armor for myself and perhaps do some more magical work for others.
Maybe find Renus and see what's going on with him.
Bradgar, by any chance, do you have? It would be of great use to us. Do you have any diamond that we could purchase from you.
If I had any, I'd just give it to you. Whatever it would do to be able to end this thing is good enough payment for me.
It would, well, we very much need, well, I wouldn't say need, but I use diamond to enhance, embolden the magical aura of items. You knew this. But if we had
And from the
any
sounds
supply,
of it, you don't have any more to be able to do. Seems limited.
I am out. I should have bought more when I was in Mido.
Well, hopefully Samira doesn't know how to do that.
I don't believe anyone else does, oddly enough. Well, someone does, but few and far between.
Well, just let me know when each of you are ready. If anything, any news comes in, any word of needing to press that time forward, I'll send word to you.
While all this is going on, I would like to do something outside if possible.
Well, that's actually just about what I was going to ask. If everything was good down here, then I was going to flip back to you. So is everything good down here? You guys good? Good leaving?
I think so.
At this point? Okay. Trace. Anything that
Well,
you
I
wanted
was
to do?
Yeah, we noticed that kid that like was hungry and so we gave him food, right? So I'm going to like, I would like to like, I'm not going to go far away from the entrance to the guild, but I'm going to like find a few of the closest houses, preferably someone that's not like rich, and see like try to peek in to see how they're doing, like the general folk of the city, if that makes sense. I want to see if they're like if they have food, like if they are going on the day normally, or they're just hiding. Like the general state of the people in the city, basically.
And you go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Sure. What? Did I manage to close down the side? What the fuck? Sorry about that. I managed to press the X. That's apparently a bad idea.
Hey, that's usually why it shows up red.
Yeah. Look at me a moment.
No problem.
There you go. 9.
So taking a look around, the houses that you check into, you find unoccupied. Just dark, empty. See little bits of furniture, but quite a collection of dust.
I would like to break into the first house I see.
Okay. You will actually find that the door is unlocked.
Huh. I'm just going to like go through the house and see if there's like, have they left in a rush, or is it more like they've cleared it out?
It does seem does more to appear to be cleared out. You can see a little bit of broken furniture, taking a bit of a closer look inside. But it seems that no one's been here for perhaps a week, maybe 2.
I'm going to like pull out my dagger and go back out the door, and I'm going to write with big letter Trey's house on the door.
Can you give me a dexterity check?
Sure. I don't want it to be pretty. Oh.
And it's
I guess
not. I mean, writing it with Trace, I believe, is what you've said as your human name.
Yeah.
It, his common's not really your first language, so it is definitely definitely a bit skewed in some places.
It's like a backward A and like the N is too big and so on. Yeah, there's no N, but still.
If you did it all in capitals, it wouldn't matter if the A is backwards.
Yeah, it looks like a child wrote it basically.
Fair.
And I'm going to like put put an arrow, like put an arrow into the door, like just with force. Oh, my new home. Oh, lovely. And I'll leave.
Well, with it not being too far away, as you're making your way back, is when the rest of the party will be exiting the guild hall.
As I see they come I like lift up my arms and say, "Great news, guys! I got a house."
In this economy,
Yeah, that was free. By the way, Trace still doesn't know how like owning property works. Just for record, that's why he just thinks it is.
Oh yeah, I picked that up.
Yeah, it's great. It's close. It's close to the guild home and everything. So every time you guys go in there, I can like relax in my house. It's wonderful.
Trace, I would like to tell you about something. It is called taxes.
Taxes? Is that a human thing again? Oh,
Yes.
humans are weird. So, where are we going?
Well, I think we're going to the tower, and I think we're going to rest a week.
Oh.
And then we are going to head out to the temple in the sea. Hopefully nothing bad happens in that week, but, well, yes, hopefully nothing bad happens in that week.
Would I know if I could get some wood in the city? Like some planks?
You have a house.
True, but I have no furniture. I'm going to go by like a general store and see if I can get some planks.
I mean, you have purchased some before here.
Oh, yeah, I have.
With it being a little late, you
And
make your way back to like where you had gone to like the mill in order to purchase wood. And fortunately, find it closed.
It doesn't really matter. I have exactly no money, so.
Well, then you can get exactly. I guess you can't exactly spend anything then.
Damn it. Oh well. I'll join the party. I wanted to make a rocking chair.
If you say you need money, I mean, I made a withdrawal of cash from the fund. Wink, wink.
Oh, I just need some planks. But the store is closed anyways, so.
One moment. Loot. Which one's the expensive one? I hand you 5 pieces of obsidian worth 50 gold total.
Oh, can I trade this for planks?
Hopefully.
Oh, nice. So do you still have that magic wand thingy that can make stuff magic?
Unfortunately not.
Damn it, I want you to enhance my rocking chair. That'll be amazing.
the rocking chair of resting.
Yes.
It gives you temporary HP whenever you rest in it for more than an hour.
And plus like 5 to passive perception while resting.
That would be awesome. What I would like to do. Oh wait, I forgot. We need to pull the go to the storage room and drop off the food. So what was his name? Garrick. Garrick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I figured it like just dropping it off, and I mean, unless there was any specific questions for him.
Nope.
Nothing really of note.
I jump into the dream and I pull out the food. I would like to refill my rations personally. So
I would love if you. I only have like 7 left.
I'm gonna grab 20 rations of dried meat. So that's 20 pounds out of the couple hundred, so that I
I
can
think it's
refill
2
the
pounds
team.
for the ration.
They're 2 pounds each.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. In that case, it's 40 pounds. And I'll distribute some of that to the rest of the team.
Oh, okay. I have 17 days. So it's actually not that bad.
Oh my god.
Takes 2 damage, end of the world, down to 17 rations. I'm about out.
It's like, guys, I don't know if I'll last much longer. 14 days later. Oh man, my feet.
Yeah, because we're not going to use rations while we're here in Lahles, right? So yeah,
Only thing that hurts probably is your back from carrying the party so goddamn much.
Aw.
You deal
Well.
ass loads of damage.
That's what I do.
After
That's what you do.
handing out like the bits of food, I believe this using the last charge of the dream.
Actually, that leaves me with 2 charges left. The number of charges I got increases with my proficiency, if I recall, or is it my charisma? I can't remember. Oh no,
I think
I'll double check.
I think you had specifically stated that you like left the 1 in order to like bring the food out, because you went back in using another time to grab a little bit of food to test it, which no one really ever did, and then also to grab the Umber Hulk
Yes.
paste. But after handing that out, taking care of that, handing it to Garrick, informing him to spread it out, going to talk to Trace, finding a few shops to be closed, easily then making your way to the Whispers of Life Tower. You place your hand upon the door, and it opens. Inside, you begin to just hear the patters of a couple pair of feet running down the stairs. You see Awen and Aol, the Goblin twins. Rena! And then when Onyx steps in, because she's not normally in the front, the boys brighten up and then run to Onyx. Onyx! Both giving her a big hug.
Oh my.
We thought Renus was back.
No.
How long has he been gone?
Just a couple of hours.
Couple of hours.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Where did he go?
It's just the only place we're not allowed to go.
Where?
Downstairs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the vampire spot.
That is downstairs technically.
Well, we're not allowed to go there either, but we meant here.
Does this tower have a basement?
Think so.
Can you show us where you're not allowed to go?
And shrugs. We don't even know how to get there. Trust us, we tried.
Did he go outside?
They'll shrug, shake their heads. I don't know.
All right. Well, perhaps we could rest here for an hour. I would like to do a couple of things, and then we can wait for him a little bit more. Afterwards, in an hour or so, we can go looking for him. Does that sound okay with everyone?
Well, we're hungry. Should be back to cook soon. Tummy
You guys
rum
can-
rum.
You guys can cook, right? I mean, it's not that hard. Just go to the kitchen.
God.
I would like to convince the goblins to go to the kitchen and cook.
It is not hard. When you suggest to go, they are on board.
Don't forget to add salt. Lots of it.
You have to watch.
Sure, I'll go watch. I don't need a rest, so I'll take
Trace,
care of the goblins.
Trace doesn't know it. He signed his own death warrant.
Huh. You only live twice.
Yolt?
All right.
I'm going to guide them like properly, not like make them make a mess of it. But I'm going to like make sure that like they mess the kitchen up totally. Good food,
I don't
but a
think that you
total
have to
mess.
make sure that they do that, but to make sure that they make a proper meal, the guidance is definitely needed. As soon as you lead them in there, they start like kind of throwing a little bit of flour around, grabbing like a couple of bowls, water, and just making a little bit of a mess. But you note that what they're making is, I mean, definitely a poor man's rabbit. You're
Oh.
welcome.
Is it because it's awful or because it's actually rabbit that is made poorly?
No, they're I mean, like the ingredients that they're putting together is essentially just like nothing. It like doesn't even make any sense.
Well, I'm going to be if they had flour, right? I mean, I'm going to guide them, tell them how to make bread, basically, like point them in the right direction.
It'll definitely take a bit of time, but it'll definitely be quite messy. The rest of you downstairs hear quite a bit of noise coming from the second floor, and with Kadir's prediction, I'm sure each of you feeling roughly the same.
I would like to cast Identify on the two items that I picked up from the snake woman. Nutella's leaf crown and Nutella's scimitar.
I bet they make everything taste like Nutella when you hit stuff.
God, I hope so. We'll save this town. One scimitar swing at a time.
Save us from the bland flavor.
Yeah.
It's like strikes a house. I have produced Nutella. It's like, but it's a house. Lick it and find out. And then, anyhow, then it would become a totally different role-playing game at that point. Fucking Candyland.
Yeah. The number one enemy will no longer be the mobs, it will be like sugar and obesity.
I'm going through my notes, but I don't have anything that I'm seeing indicating that the crown or anything was magical.
You didn't. I'm double checking to see if it is by. I'm double checking to see if it is by casting Identify.
Okay. I was just like I was looking through and I was like, I'm not 100% sure. I would have said maybe 60, but I mean they're not magical if that's the case. Yeah, like I said, I was pretty sure I didn't say anything about them being magical. So, but you definitely made me second guess myself there for a moment.
Damn it.
I just went back through about 10 pages of notes real quick looking for anything with that kind of description.
Are they anything special? Are they valuable? Are they like, is the scimitar perhaps of superior make, or
Doesn't seem to be. And the crown is, I mean, literally just made of leaves,
oh
little bits
man,
of twigs.
well, that's disappointing. Well, I hoped.
Well, just want to double check. Does anyone want to do anything in particular, or is everyone just kind of waiting for the time till Renus returns?
Oh wait.
I mean, I'll keep working on my my scale armor.
If I can help him, I will.
Hey, Kadir, from last the review of last session, I did have a note of this for the next time you pulled it out. Can you give me an investigation check for the scale mail armor?
Sure. All right, guidance is on.
that this is coming out quite well. Most of the rest of the work is going to require the blacksmithing portions, and on top of that, like I said, just making a note from the question. Then a bunch of other questions got asked, and then I never got back to you. It will be roughly 2 more days of work, so about 16 hours.
Okay. So in that case, it's already nighttime, so I don't think we can do it right now. But yes, I would very much appreciate your help. Question though, Krev, what armor are you sporting right now?
The upgraded studded leather that we had been given by the guild, but I had swapped out the studs with stone that I had been collecting. It didn't really give it any, better defense. It was more just cosmetic for my liking.
Is this so study? Was this a +2?
It was just +1.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to figure out if if I could rework my armor to give you a bonus, my Umber Hulk armor.
Oh,
If it
because you're going to be swapping yours out, you think, with the new stuff?
likely, it is 15 plus 1 plus 2, so it would be 18 plus whatever your. I don't know how high your dex is though.
I got 18 decks.
So yes, it would be a bonus for you.
Nice. Also,
And it's not metal.
yeah, you just kind of reminded me something. Can I potentially use my stonework to maybe upgrade the shield that I have, or my smithing tools as well, using the two combined?
There's always a way, but you got to figure it out, man.
Well, right, that's kind of what I would like to do. I'd like to use some of the stone that I've collected, and maybe some of the magical stone that we've collected from the portal.
Yeah, perfect idea.
And if I need to, well, I was gonna say I could use that on the current armor I have as well, but I might wait until Kadir figures out what he's doing with his armor to. I mean, if we're gonna look at his current armor set now, with that intention, I could look at that with the magic stone we found. I don't know if I have time to do that and the shield, but
Well, you definitely know that those are possibilities. And of course, what you said, just you need the time. But I mean, each of you have kind of agreed upon resting for the week, so you have at least a week's time.
all right.
Well,
So
yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Renus to get back then for now.
I'm gonna start tinkering with my shield then, with the magic stone I found. I don't know what you want me to do since I've got smithing and masonry tools and proficiency.
We'll do a smith's check, but this, like I said, it's gonna take quite a bit of time, so
Sure.
you're gonna need the full day.
Okay.
I'll call for a smith's check.
Sure.
In about 15 to 20 minutes, you hear the boys shout out above, "Dinner!"
Trace walks out like he normally is like wears all black, but all of a sudden all his clothes is white, covered in flour. It's going to be good, trust me.
Like,
They're all
each of you
dead
go
men.
upstairs.
Yeah. That's the ideas question.
I use prestidigitation to create the sound of a funeral dirge. Bum, 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 as we walk upstairs to our inevitable doom.
Well, they've made bread. It's not that hard.
Making your way up, you will see Trace completely white, covered in flour. The twin goblins, both covered in flour as well, as a plume of what you can easily assume to be flour is coming out of the kitchen. The boys both holding little bits of loaves of bread. We have some stew going, but it's not ready yet. Put the plates of bread down on the table.
I'm sure we found like some honey and so on, so it's not all that dry.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
Who doesn't like freshly baked bread?
I like freshly baked bed.
Oh,
that hurt even more.
Yeah. Baked bed. Dyslexia.
I crack into the break bed.
I like a freshly broken bed. It's basically what that sounded like.
Yep. So tell me, how bad is my con save?
With Trey supervising, it didn't come out too terrible looking. You break off a little bit of a piece, you give it like, a little bit of a smell. It smells pretty good. It feels, like it's not dried out, and with the little bits of honey or butter, then it seems like it's gonna be quite well. Do you eat it?
Yes.
Tastes pretty good.
But after my first bite, I clutch my throat, falling onto the floor, rasping for air.
The boys will run over. Oh no, we killed him! Oh dear, don't die!
he's faking it.
I grab him by the collar and I whisper, "It's okay." And then I fall down on the floor dead.
Oh,
Wow.
What a waste!
nope. Was a perfect timing.
Damn his gluten allergy.
Why would he do
You know
that?
what would kill him?
I'm going to like pretend to panic and say, "I know what he needs," and I run to the kitchen and run back and throw like a pile of flour in the head of Kadir.
Renus is gonna
That
be
worked.
so mad. Oh no.
Oh, no, he's not. You need to learn.
What?
We just
What
killed
do
Kadir.
I is sitting straight up at this point. What do they need to learn? I do not understand.
Ah! The twins run back into the kitchen. Kadir, you have a bunch of flour all over your face.
Yes, I noticed.
He's a ghost.
Yeah, I'll sit down and eat like a normal person. Like a
To
normal
be
human.
fair, they need to learn how to make food like that. Yeah,
Yes,
goblins after all.
it's true. A level of independence would behoove them. It's
And
not
as
like
far
they
as
don't want it.
as far as I understand, the goblins are renowned chefs, right? So they need to learn the trade.
After a few
Wait.
moments of conversation, each of you begin to hear footsteps coming up the stairs. And then in walks Renus.
I can only imagine what he must feel looking out at this, like, two people smattered with flour in a kitchen full of shrieking goblins.
Well, each of you have been around Renus for at least a little bit of time, to say the least. Each of you pick up quite easily that he does not look happy. But with that, can each of you give me a perception check as well?
Okay. Dang. Reckon's still not there yet. Yeah, he's not
Well-
in the above 10 club.
Each of you will note that Renus appears to have been, outside, and at least in some manner. Boots, little bit of dried mud, hair, little bit of a mess. It seems that the wind has gotten to him. Just kind of being like out in the open. And the other thing of note that each of you pick up, of course, except for Reckon, sorry, buddy, is he has a small scratch just underneath his jawline. When he moves his head up just a tad bit, it's noticeable, but when he looks you nearly straight in the eyes, it's almost seems to be disappeared. He looks, well, I wasn't sure when each of you would be back, but nothing seems to have changed. The boy's still making a mess when I'm gone. Hopefully
Well,
soon they grow up.
They made bread, though. Very good bread. Have a taste.
Gives it a look. I don't think I have much of an appetite.
Why is that?
Long day.
Apparently, Bradgar might be looking for you. We got back to town, and I guess he thought you were missing too.
I'll speak with him in the morning. Let me assume that each of you have brought back quite a bit of news. Been gone for nearly a week's time.
Yes. I take the rune etchings and I place them on the table.
Excellent. Did you happen to bring back any of the runes themselves?
Yes, we have some pieces ourselves.
Excellent.
We also, well,
gives a little bit of a sigh and says, just more work that'll need to be done in the morning.
the high and the low of it is that we've discovered that White Ridge, Millstone, and Golden Leaf are all gone.
Well, under the control of Yuan-Ti.
We can assume that they are not as they need to be, that they are gone, or that they are. What is it? We cannot trade down the east road. There is nothing for us there.
Well, I'm guessing that each of you have already spoken to Bradgar.
Yes.
Did he tell you his thoughts of sending each of you down to the south, the southern temple?
Yes.
And your thoughts?
We will wait a week and then we will go.
Good. Think it over. And if you're still set on it, make sure you're prepared.
Yes. It is unfortunate. I had hoped we had more time, but well, we will see how this goes.
Good. He grabs a piece of bread, takes a bite. I think this will be good enough. Gonna go to bed. Tell the boys to wash up, if you will, Onyx. They seem to at least respect you a bit more than me.
Can I insight him? what was his emotion upon seeing us here? Us specifically, not the mess.
Sure, go ahead and give me an insight.
16.
He just seems of an individual who's had an extremely long day, beaten, unable to really show much emotion, especially from what he stated, kind of coming home to like the same stuff. He just, I mean, seems drained. Didn't really seem happy or sad or anything of the note to almost seemed emotionless, if you will.
All right.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'll speak to each of you in the morning.
Sounds good.
I would like to use prestidigitation to help clean up myself in the kitchen, and then go to bed.
Okay, so anybody else have anything? Or just go ahead and get the rest moving to May 9th.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right. Well, in the morning, everything is quiet. And then, Rekid, as the
Yes.
sun begins to just peek into the window, you hear a knock at the door.
Hello. Just kind of open the door.
Before you stands Renus. I guess I woke you. I figured you'd be up a bit early.
Oh, you know, old man things.
Well, please come downstairs.
All right.
I have something I wish to show you.
Very well. Let me just throw on my walking around clothes.
And he'll give you a couple
So-
moments. And with that going on, can the rest of you give me a con save, please? See if this wakes you.
Not sleeping though. Seeing as I'm elf.
Yes, you'll give me a perception check. Okay. Kadir, Onyx, each of you are both still asleep. Krev, the knocking on the door wakes you up. It's a bit uncomfortable while you sleep in the drawer of a dresser. And Trace, you hear the conversation as well.
I listen. I would like to listen then. Without disturbing. No need to.
Well, with waiting just a few moments, and then leading Rekid downstairs. Do you follow, Krev? What do you do?
If I'm, got my rest for the day, yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah.
All right. So then, at that point, with a bit more of the footsteps, Renus will just look at you, Rekid, hearing the commotion above, and he'll say, "Well, it's probably best that they just hear it outright. I was going to seek an individual's wisdom, bit of insight, counsel, if you will.
Oh, what plagues your thoughts?
Well, it seems that this war isn't the biggest threat. Not to Lahles, but also to Elista.
What is then?
And he'll point above. It sounds that they'll be down in just a moment. Don't worry, the boys are heavy sleepers. It's early enough, we'll have a bit of time to discuss before they wake.
Very well.
Then Krev, you make your way down, already seeing Rekid and Venus there. Then Trace, Kadir and Onyx. Each of you got woke up from the bits of extra commotion. You can get ready and follow suit as well, or roll back over and hit that alarm clock.
Sounds like nothing.
Sorry, I was on mute. I'll come down too.
Same.
All right. Then when each of you make your way down, Renus will gesture. Please, everybody take a seat. I was hoping to speak to Rekid about this and, well, get a bit of insight from him. But with each of you waking, I'm assuming I made a bit too much noise. Perhaps it's just best that each of you find out together. The past few days have not been easy. I've had a bit of matters to secure, things to take care of, if you will. News has come in, an individual has begun to, well, collect golden pieces that can attune you with gods. Don't know how true that to be. However, I needed to find you something to help end this war in case any issues come here. Then he'll place a red velvet pouch on the table.
What's this?
You said that you needed something in order to be a bit more prepared, right? Well, I found it.
What is it?
A diamond. Should be of fair size. I haven't seen many in my day, but I was assured that it was, well, of good value.
Well, that will certainly prove of use. But these, what was this you were speaking of? Pieces of gods?
Just rumors, tall tales.
Where have you heard these rumors from?
People speak of them from time to time when traveling around from village to village. You hear a bit of tales and rumors that spread. No one that I would say is of a reliable source.
This diamond, how did you find it?
He just kind of gives you like a little bit of a blank look and then says, I prefer not to say.
Oh, he stole it! I mean,
You should just be happy that it's here.
Very well. Well, I guess not many people would expect. Never mind. Thank
Mhm.
you, Greenus.
Just take it and use it for whatever you need to bring this war to an end quickly. If someone is going around terrorizing cities and attempting to burn them down in order to find a tale of an item from a tale that may not exist,
Has
well,
that happened?
from what they say, again, no proof.
It sounds like there's something big going on outside Lahles, then.
I agree.
Is that
I feel
why
that
so little of the
everyone's...
work? Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, I'll be more polite. You go first.
Is that why there have been so few coming to our aid?
Perhaps. It seems that everyone's focus with the issues here has almost, well, blinded us from what's going on farther beyond these walls. And then with that, he'll just push his chair back, and as the legs of the chair kind of squeak across the wooden floor, he'll say, well, I'll begin to get breakfast ready. And then just nods towards the red velvet pouch on the table and walks towards the kitchen. With that, we'll go ahead and take our break and be back in just a few moments.
Sounds good.
All right, see everybody in just about 5 minutes. And we're back. So, with Venus beginning to prepare breakfast, each of you left with the red velvet pouch on the table.
It was a diamond, right?
That's what he said.
I will open it.
Indeed. And
Oh.
it's a pretty nice size. Do you look in? Seems to nearly be the size of your fist.
Dear Jesus.
Jesus. That's a big fucking diamond.
You gave me an obsidian what, Kadir?
5 pieces of obsidian.
Okay. As soon as breakfast is done, I would like to go to the general store.
Start purchasing wood for make furniture for your house.
Yeah, I'm making a rocking chair. Believe it. With like a rabbit holder.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yep.
Well, as stated, Kadir, it seems to be a fairly decent size. Your rough estimates would be hundreds, perhaps 500 or more gold. It would take a little bit more of looking into it to get a more precise amount of value, but from just a quick glance, it seems to be a hefty amount.
Okay. Well, you it's probably best you do not see what I have to do to this.
You've spoken what you've had to do to him before, and it doesn't matter. Do what needs to be done.
Very well.
Renus begins bringing out little bits of fruit, oatmeal, tea, little bits of sausages, just a little variety of things.
So,
Well then, what is your plan? You said
Well-
that you needed a week's time.
yes, we will take a week. I will do what needs to be done with this. Krev, I believe I will need your help for the diamond.
All right.
After that, I will pursue my work, and you can pursue yours. If we have enough time, I would like to finish the 1T armor, but if not, then that is how it is. If there is any, I would also like the chance to perhaps make. Perhaps I can fix a piece of equipment for you, Krev. We will have to see.
Yes. It would be nice. What we have to do with the diamond?
Crush it down, and then mold it into a python.
Is that something
or-
I can do, or is that more of
Chip.
your jeweler thing?
It's some. I believe it's in smithing, so it's something that you can.
Okay. Well, I've also got masonry, and technically a diamond is a type of stone, right?
It's a good point.
I mean, so between the two of them, you know. Just tell me what you need, and then ideally I'd use the kit that has the better bonus. I know one of my kits was better than the other, if I remember.
Is it a smithing check, Kyle?
I'm pulling back up the notes just to double check, but I'm nearly positive it is.
Same.
Did you allow me to use my wisdom for smithing?
Okay, I have the notes. So, to crush the diamond, you just need to make sure that you have a basically a certain strength score, which majority of everyone meets, so it's not ever shouldn't be an issue. Unless you just roll really bad on stats. And then with that, you will need to make a blacksmithing check. And since you have helped with this before, I will allow you to use your wisdom modifier just to apply the previous knowledge.
Great. All right. Okay. In that case, yeah, if I'll let him take the lead on this one, and I'll give him advantage and advantage and guidance.
Sweet. 23.
Nice.
Okay, can you go ahead and roll me a D10 plus 5?
All right, go ahead.
I mean, whichever of you would like to do it.
I'm just pulling up the bonus. Doesn't really matter. Ew.
Okay.
Ouch.
Well, luckily, you have a pretty good smithing check. So you have a total of 12 charges. Not gonna make you roll for it, Kadir. It'll be, I mean, easy to note that it's a couple of inches longer than your previous pitten, the diamond pitten that you had made previously. So you get more of an idea of how much it actually is holding. But with this, just a little less than half of the diamond that Renus had given you has been used. This will take an hour out of your day. So what I will just like to do real quick with the rest of the party is, Trace, you're going to buy little bits of wood. Unless you have anything you'd like to RP, you can get it for one of the obsidian gems, and you will get 10 pounds.
Well, I mean, I would like a little table as well, right? I mean, I
So,
can't
are
have
you
all.
actually purchasing the furniture, or are you just purchasing the wood?
I want to make it myself.
Okay. So you can get 10 pounds for each gem.
I'll give away 2 gems.
Okay, so you can have 20 pounds of just normal wood. And then go ahead and give me a woodworking check. And just let me know which one this is for, whether it's the table or the rocking chair.
Well, the rocking chair goes first. I mean,
Okay.
I want to make a +2 rocking chair if possible.
No, but you can give me a woodworking check.
14.
It's a pretty good rocking chair.
Nice.
But with that, then that will take you a couple of hours out of the day, so you can actually do the table as well. But just to double check, Wreckit and Onyx, is there anything that you'd like to accomplish throughout the day?
Yes.
Is getting blazing drunk an accomplishment?
No. But I think Reckon wants to put himself to work. He doesn't really gain anything by, sitting for a whole week. So I think he's going to put himself to work, using charges from his staff to heal the grievously wounded, but in such a way where he'll have all of his charges still by the time the week is up, and also tending to the dead that's starting to pile up and needs to be taken care of, maybe defending the walls, that kind of thing.
Got it. So we'll have to return to that in just a moment. Onyx, was there anything for you?
I'll do similarly, except I'll try to boost the morale by playing music.
Perfect. So, then with that, Onyx, can you go ahead and give me a performance check and see how that plays out? And while that's being rolled, Wrecked, the main thing to point out, with a couple of hours that go in, when you're beginning to, help, dispose of some of the dead, they, direct you to basically an area that they have composed of, fire stacks to lay the bodies upon in order to, set them ablaze, each night. And when you get there, you will notice that there are nearly 6 dozen fire stacks like ready. You know that you don't need that many from the dead that you had seen back at the guild hall. However, it seems that there's preparations made. On top of that, when you make your way out for the first time, helping remove some of the dead on the cart, can you give me a perception check?
Yeah.
All right. So as you're helping pull one of the carts, you feel like the weight get a little bit less. You look over your shoulder and you see Snot pushing the back of the carts. Old man, go work. You move slow.
I appreciate it's not.
You hear news?
News of what?
They say Samira have fight Temple. Like you
Oh.
fight Temple.
Interesting. Did you hear what temple or where it was?
That way.
Which way
Points
is it
off
going?
to the northwest.
Oh, okay. Is that one we visited?
Nope.
Okay.
You think she dead? I think she dead.
Between you and I, I think, unfortunately, no.
Then why they not come? Makes no sense.
Who knows? I questioned her reasons for being here.
You have stuff too?
Was that stuff to do? Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to help as I can. My comrades are preparing to head out. I figure it's better to keep myself busy, idle hands and such.
Yeah. You sit, you get fat.
Very true. I just kind of jiggle my beer belly a little bit.
Well, other than that, Onyx, with your role, it does seem that in the beginning you are having quite a bit trouble to gain anyone's attention. People don't really seem to be paying too much mind to you, and then attempting to force it just a bit more, you find yourself just not finding a nice rhythmic tune, but only one brave soul is willing to boo.
Sorry,
This is at Onyx for her performance, trying to...
I know. I assumed it was me.
Oh.
Finish him.
Kill him now, Onyx!
Do it.
Trace from your other check, you can easily have the table done. Neither of these
Plus
take
one
you
table?
too...
Plus one table?
No,
Damn it.
just regular table. And then with Krev and Rekid wanting to work more on the scale mail, I'm assuming, or now has your priority changed?
You said Rekid. Did you mean
Or yeah,
Kadir?
Kadir, sorry.
Okay.
I looked at the last roll and brain lapsed.
Is this something you would help me with? I believe there are other things we could work on first. Would you perchance like to work on your armor? I would like to find Trace. Wait, actually, I don't need to. Never mind. I would like to work on my staff, to see if I can improve on its design.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I'd like to at some point work on my shield or my armor. or both if we have time. I mean, if we have a week, what does it take a day for each thing? I mean,
No, it's
I-
a variable amount on the cost, unless like you're just doing it from raw material, then it just takes solid time. So for an instance, I like since he's making scale mail, I compared the total cost and then divide it by like I think it's 25 or 50 gold or something like that.
mhm,
And then that gives you the day's amount of work.
right.
But so then for something for an example that costs like 10 gold, like in that same math will take you, 30 minutes.
Is that you said in upgrade materials is what you're looking at for the cost? Or what is the cost you're looking at?
I based it off the cost of the item.
Oh, okay.
That's like why, for an example, like some of the stuff that was being made only took Kadir like 1 day of work to do.
Gotcha.
And other things took like a full fucking week because
They're more
That-
expensive.
that explains that then. I was wondering, I just didn't know.
I mean, how long do you expect
I mean, to give you, I guess, like a peek behind the screen to answer that, but I mean, that's kind of what you base it on, or what I base it on.
how long are you expecting to take for your staff?
I am very close to finishing it. The work is 90% done, but you may remember that I fucked it up royally at the end.
Well,
And
let
now
me
I'm
help
just
you and do it right this time.
well, it's woodwork.
Ah, mm. That's unfortunately I'm not as familiar with.
I mean, to put it layman's, I have advantage on it, and I even with because I built schematics for it beforehand, so I have advantage. I'm assuming I still do. If I don't, then I'll find trace. But
Mhm.
yeah. So I layman's terms, I already have a good shot. So
Okay.
just let me know when I should roll, Kyle, and
Yeah, so let me
I
just ask this for a little bit more clarification on my end. We'll go down the line. It sounds like, just to make sure, Rekid for at least day one is wanting to just do work, help out the guild, things of that manner. Do whatever is basically needed. That obviously wouldn't put him in a detrimental position for the rest, as you had stated, correct?
Right. I mean, I guess that just means anything short of combat.
Yeah, and then like that you also specifically stated out like not using too many charges in order to have them the staff to be full.
Yeah, by the time the week is up.
Okay, so for you for day one, we're pretty good, unless there's a. Well, we'll get back to that in a whole in a second. Onyx, the same thing for you. Just wanting to raise spirits from your role obviously doesn't seem to be going too well. And then Trace, you working on furniture for your commandeered house, if you will.
Yep.
Okay, so we got you good for day one, and then just Krev and Kadir. Krev, you let me know exactly what you're working on, and Kadir, you the same, and then we'll basically make our rolls from there day by day, just to kind of expedite the process. Unless there's any RP from day to day that you, any of you would like to seek out. Otherwise, unless specified, from Bradgar sending word if needed sooner, um, letting you take care of whatever you need to take care of.
okay.
I mean, for my stuff, I was just gonna ask Kadir if he like was planning on after finishing his staff. Was he planning on helping me with my stuff? Should I wait or should I go ahead and start on my shield?
I don't think I have any of the proficiencies that I can help you with your shield. If
It
you're
would
doing
just be smithing, right?
oh, if you have smithing, then yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I would say it'd be depending on exactly how you want to go about it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like I said earlier, it could take either or.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you just want to hang out until, because I mean, there's plenty of hours left in the day. If you want to hang out until I finish, and then I can help you afterwards, that might work.
I guess what I might do is while he's working on that, since I'm just kind of hanging out, I might kind of just like work on looking at the magical stone that we had picked up and just trying to like not like attune to it, but kind of understand it better and just kind of look over it. So I'm kind of preparing to use it the next day. I don't know if that makes sense.
Can you repeat that?
I want to look over the magical stone that we picked up.
Okay.
Try to get a better feel for it and like how I would apply it the next day when we do actually go to use it to improve the armor or the shield.
Give me a Mason's check for that with your intelligence.
Intelligence, okay.
And Kadir, what are you working on?
I'm working on my Rod of the Pack Keeper. I want to try to improve it one last time.
Oof. And
Nice.
then whatever bonus that you're giving it, I think that was the one that had the better. It was either the Smiths or the Mason's tools that are better. I know there was a one. They both had a bonus to what they normally have. If it's up +2, then that would be a 28.
Yeah, I believe it was. Let me double check. I have it written down. +2, yeah. And Kadir, give me an Arcana check. Okay. So, Kadir, you'll note that a few, a bit of the diamond, turns to dust as it normally had done previously, and then at this point, you feel that it is complete, and you have done enough in order to make it a +2.
Very nice.
Krev, with your role, you have quite a various amount of ideas. You could kind of break it down a bit, apply it, kind of like mold it into like from dust into like a little bit of like clay and mud, and like harden it in the fires of a forge in order to like kind of get it well enough. But you also remember it having bits of like magical remnant still about it. So with that in mind, you kind of think around that process and how to be able to utilize it in some sort of way. You come up with the idea of not necessarily breaking it, but almost like shaving it down with like a hammer and chisel, creating very thin layers in order to preserve the magical effects.
Kind of like shaving coins or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to spitball a couple of ideas that I'm just thinking of off the top of my head, but basically, just saying, like, if you can come up with any certain way you would like, and it will preserve the magical components.
Gotcha. True.
And that doesn't take you too long. It only takes you about, like, 30 minutes to kind of figure that out. Kadir, your process takes 4 hours through the day. Trace, you're good through like half the day. So Krev, at this point, you can give me a Mason's check with your wisdom at advantage to use the rest of the time in order to apply this to your shield.
23.
And you're about halfway done.
All right.
All right, so I think that carries us through the first day.
Yep, bring you to it'll bring everyone to May 10th. The long rest, by the way, will be completed May 15th.
All right.
Okay.
So I guess what's next? Let's go ahead and finish your shield first, Matt,
Mhm.
and then we'll get to work on my armor, and then we can look at perhaps improving either or both of those from there.
Sure.
All right, so if that's the case, whichever of you would like to give me a stonemason's check, or one of you can roll at advantage, or both of you can roll regularly. Anybody else got anything planned?
Take advantage, Matt.
Oh,
I should, you mean?
I took a few random books from what was it? The town was Whitebridge, I guess it was, from the general store we robbed. I would like to read those in my rocking chair.
Do you
I
got
have
a
no idea what.
fireplace though? That's the real concern.
Nah, I'm Melvin. I don't like fire.
I mean, that was a pretty good roll.
It was a pretty good
27.
roll. Trace, I mean, pretty much just the information from the books is like practically all that you could obtain. So if there's any new information that you're looking for, you will need to find some new material.
I'm going to grab a few random books from Rena's library and just read them.
All right, random it
Uh,
is.
And I'm going to place the rocking chair the most annoying place possible, like in the middle of I don't know, a hallway or something. So everyone has to step around me every time they go past me.
All right. The one book that you grab on the spine says goblins. The other reads portals.
Goblins and Portals. It sounds like a good game. I'll read that.
Those two things go together more than you might think.
Yeah. Well, actually, when I think about it, I'm actually going to read the Portal one first. That might actually come handy.
Okay, with the new material, go ahead and give me an intelligence check. And then anybody else?
Six.
All right. Krev, with Kadir's help, you will get the rest of your shield done in a bit less time than anticipated. And you will note that it is a +2 shield.
Sweet.
Of gravity detection.
Trace, from your readings, you don't find much information. I mean, it's just a book on portals. Seems to just be a story.
Fine.
Just double checking. If nobody else has anything. I know that Kadir and Krev have a little bit more of a plan. So if Rekid and Onyx don't have anything specifically, just get their rolls knocked out of the way.
I might shop around a little bit, Kyle. It's a long shot, but looking for ways to increase AC that are not armor or shields,
Like bracers.
or rings, that kind of things.
Bracers
Walls.
You can go ahead and give me an investigation.
Okay.
Not bad.
From the information you find about town, most people think that you're joking, and those that understand exactly kind of like what you're looking for, you just find it fairly certain that nothing of that nature is about the area.
Okay.
Is there anything else we're doing today?
I don't know if we had time left over
We have
to start on
half
the
a
next
day
one.
left, so if there's anything
Oh,
you want to start on.
Yeah, let's do the 1T armor.
Okay, both of you working together on it?
You're
Perfect.
if you will make the roll, Matt,
is this masonry or?
smithing. We're doing like the metal underpinnings that are attaching all of the scales together.
Which is this one going to be under? Wisdom, intelligence.
Dexterity.
Ooh, nice.
It's more
Love
of a
it.
finesse process, getting it exactly right, not leaving any gaps.
All right, he's helping me.
Yep, advantage. Fucking
That's
God.
30.
good, I guess.
Just a 30, you know.
I guess.
Yeah.
Jesus Cristo. There's a reason I let you roll. Because I know I'm fucking cursed at this point.
At this point, I think it's safe to say you each feel like while you're working together, you're shaving off quite a bit of time. This would have taken either of you alone the entire day.
Damn.
But one more day from either one of you or both of you working at this for another half a day, and it'll be complete.
All right.
Nice.
Well, we'll save that for tomorrow then.
All right, then to the 11th.
All right.
So go ahead and get your Smith check knocked out of the way, and then if anyone else has anything, got plenty of time.
I'm just going to keep reading random books.
Damn, only a 23. Feel like I let you down on that one.
It's not the fucking nat ones that I'm used to nailing.
I mean, I would take in that one. I can re-roll that shit.
Oh God, I forgot.
It's the twos I'm scared of.
All right. Anybody got anything else? Your scale mail is now complete.
I hope it's extra scaly.
Read
All
more
right.
books, Trace. Intelligence check.
Yeah.
I look the scale mail over for quality.
Note that it is a +2.
Nice.
A scale mail scales better than other armors.
Trace, you find this book to be very entertaining. You're making your way through it quite hastily. telling the tale of traveling through a portal leading to an upside-down world. And
Nice.
the world that it describes is exactly as Elista. And from individuals that you met, you'll pick up, for just an example, Bradgar to be a evil tyrant that is destroying the world.
Ooh.
Okay.
Who's the writer of this book?
It's me,
It has-
40 years in the future.
It has no author.
Oh.
I mean, because each of you would know Renus pretty well, being able to pick that up quite easily, it tells Renus of being an evil wizard that holds a tower that crushes, stands on top of a crushed city.
Can I find any characters that are like good characters in this opposite world?
Not from what you've read thus far.
Okay.
Maybe there's more in the end.
I'll
And
keep reading.
Maybe at this point, you might be paying a bit more attention.
I will.
Does anybody have anything else that they'd like to take care of? I mean, nearly half the day is just going to be done after that last smithing check. So,
I would like to give Krev my half plate and say, so I think you should have this. It will improve you. I
Can I
know
wear
it is a little large. So what I said, but it is strapped with leather straps, buckles. You may have to remove a few pieces of the lower set, but our torsos, well,
It's metal though, right? So you can't use it.
it is not. It is
it's made from
out
the
of
Umberhulk.
it's bone.
Oh.
Oh, perfect.
I would again. You may have to play with the straps a little bit to make sure that it fits you correctly. Make a little bit of modifications, but I think it would suit you.
Do I know, like, what is this, like, regular half plate, or is it +1, or?
It's half plate +1,
Gotcha.
so it 16 plus 2. Your
Mhm.
AC, I guess, should be somewhere around the ballpark of 22 now.
16 plus 2 plus 1, was it?
No. 16 plus the 16 is the 15 plus 1. Half plate starts at 15.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's like, wait, that
18.
doesn't sound right.
So hold on. I was with +1 studded leather, which is 13, plus my 4 dex is 17. So yeah,
Yes.
it would be 1 higher.
Yep.
The only difference is that I'd have disadvantage stealth, but that's
Looks cooler.
yeah.
I mean, it
And one higher.
Mhm. But yeah, thank you. And then I guess I'd take the half day to try to size it up to me. Or down to me.
you're probably going to lose some poundage off that armor because I can't imagine all of it would be necessary to shield your tiny body.
Yes. How tall are you?
6'1".
Okay,
I
and
think-
I'm like
I mean, there will be needing to be like a shaving down process, but to not break the entire world and like cost and everything, all the weights and everything will remain the same.
right, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like 4 foot tall, so like the upper half of my body compared to the upper half of your body is probably like maybe a foot difference, if that, probably less than a foot, because upper body's usually the lesser portion for most
Well,
people. It's usually in
the
the legs.
so the thing is, the half plate has it has plates that hang down to cover the legs. You would either have to you would either have to pull those up or remove them entirely. I mean, pick your choice, really, but Yeah.
Well, I mean, otherwise I'm like having a chest piece that covers down to my toes, and that's kind of weird.
I mean,
yeah, you know. But I mean, again, I'm not that short. I'm like 4 foot, so, I guess
the huh? Uh, yeah. Never mind. I'm thinking of something.
I mean, it'll just take like a bit of time in order for you to like make some adjustments. You'll
Sure.
just like unhinge a couple of the things and that are like kind of like latched and hooked together and get it to the appropriate size. It won't take much time at all.
Mm-hmm.
But with that in mind, I do believe that is again we're still at like half the day through the 11th.
I mean, if I'm through that, then I would work on using more magic stone to improve it.
Your shield.
No, the armor that he just
Oh,
gave me.
you'll note that that's not going to give any improvements.
Oh, really? Okay.
Do I have any scales left over? I'd like to make some bracelets for Rekid.
You will have about 10-ish pounds of scales left over. The scale mail taking, I mean, quite an abundance.
Oh, I can't imagine the bracers would take but just a couple of those poundage. Yeah, I'd just like to make to again following the same pattern. I would like to I would like to make sure that I douse them in the Umber Hulk paste. To I can't remember the term I used last time, but more like a coat them. I would like to coat them with the Umber Hulk paste to give them a good veneer, and then foil them up into bracers. I do have plenty of spare leather from armor I've been breaking down in my inventory, so I'll use that leather to kind of do the attachments.
Okay. We'll need a leather working check with dexterity.
Okay. One moment, I have to rework my stats.
Okay, noted. You will find that this is going to be a little bit more of a fine working process, needing to get it down to the certain size with the scales being a bit large. In comparison, you'll find that you get nearly a quarter of the way done.
Okay, I'll keep working on it.
Okay, well then we move to the 12th. So if you're going to continue to work on that, Kadir, leatherworking, another check, please.
Actually, I'll pull over a Rekid.
Yeah.
Rek, I had heard of your ventures. Forgive me if I'm intruding, but I would like to try and help you. But
Oh,
your hands, I need your hands.
okay.
Not for any. Here, I'll show you.
Are
And
you
then
giving me better hands?
yes, here, just you'll see.
Okay.
And I give him my leather working set. and I describe to him what I'm trying to do. I'm telling him I want to make him bracers, and telling him I would like to make them. I would like to make them magical. You seem to be the man who is at the front of the fight always, and we don't do nearly enough to protect you. So this is my donation to that effort. I hope.
Oh, that's great. That will help with the constant stabbings. Yes, indeed.
But so what I would like to do is I would like to walk you through. I would like you to walk you through and help you make the bracers. But again, your hands, despite your age, well, you are much more in tune than I am.
All right, what do I have to do?
And I'll spend that day giving him advantage and guidance, and then walking him through the process of how to make the bracers with my tools.
That sounds like a great plan to me. If you're going to continue to do so, need more leatherworking.
Okay. So all you'd have to do for that, Christian, is a dexterity check, I believe. If it still is dexterity, you get to add +2 from my leatherworking set, and I'm also giving advantage and guidance.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
As long as he's proficient in it, then yes.
Proficient in...
Leatherworking.
I am not proficient in leatherworking. Is that what you meant? Or okay. So no advantage?
No advantage.
Okay.
It'll still cut down the time, but you can give him guidance.
Okay.
Got it. So he has disadvantage from not having proficiency, and I'm just negating.
So with that +2, that's an 11 plus whatever your guidance is.
Think you might want to roll the D4 there, Kadir.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's saying. So 14?
14 overall.
Oof.
Okay. So if you, at this rate, if you wish to spend the rest of the day on it, you can give me one more check and it'll be complete. And then again, if anyone else has any other plans for the day, just say so. Go through it. Try to just do this as quickly as possible.
How much poundage of scales are we using for this?
A half a pound.
Okay. This one is 20.
Yep.
Okay, and it is complete.
Nice.
All right, so these are just bracers.
Bracers or bracelets?
Bracers. So
I thought you said bracelets before.
No. Bracers just being like, I mean, there's not much difference between them, but bracers being, something that covers between your forearm or your hand and your forearm.
I mean, it's not going to take like a difference of time, but I just wanted to make sure I had it right for my notes. But there is definitely a bit of difference between a bracelet and a bracer.
For sure. I would like to assess the quality to see if it's possible that I could put a magical enchantment on this. That's where the real work's going to come in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me an investigation. You're fairly certain it'll hold magic.
I would like to. So I want to try to make these into bracers of defense for him. I imagine this will probably eat up a ton of charges and probably a lot of my time, but I want to make sure that this is capable of holding that enchantment.
Yeah, you're pretty sure.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll go forward with it. I'm guessing that's for next day.
Yeah, that you feel like that'll take an entire day, especially knowing that no one is able to assist.
Yep.
It's gonna be a full day of work. Let me just double check the date. So does anyone else have anything to do, like they'd like to take care of on the 12th?
Good.
Because if not, then we'll just move to the 13th.
Plus, I can help someone else, you know, with their projects, smithing or masonry.
Why is it? I feel like I'm the only person who ever takes Arcana on a regular basis for my characters. It makes me sad.
Well, Kyle's world seems to be the one of the first worlds where it's become super highly relevant.
Are you saying it's not in mine? How dare you?
It has not come up as frequently.
Unforgivable. All right.
I will say, to be fair, in comparison, like Friday's game, that requires a lot more Arcana. This one's a bit more of an investigation and kind of putting puzzle pieces together. But,
Well-
I mean, if that's it, then we move to the 13th, and I'll need an Arcana check.
Alrighty then. I'm begging you for potato salad.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Like I told you, you just need to use it correctly. Use it wisely. And you'll know
When
the power of
you're,
potato salad.
Yeah, when you're doing it, a potato salad appears. As you're going about carving, I mean, you're getting quite a bit more used to the process, but you also will note that this material made from the queen's scales seems to just absorb the magic from the diamond piston just quite a bit easier than anything else that you've inscribed upon. You are successful with the defense.
All right. I present them to Rekid. These green scaled bracers, roughly I want to say 13, 14 inches in length, that will go all the way from his hand to his elbow, shining with orange runes.
They're magnificent.
Well, no big deal. It will only save your life, I'm sure.
Oh yes, yes it will. Did we already talk about the mechanic, like how much it adds? If so, I missed it, unfortunately.
I don't think we did, but if they are standard bracers of defense, it basically +2.
Okay, cool. I'll just add that item from in D&D Beyond. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, I roll fantastically on stuff that's not for me, but honestly, I'm okay being the party support for that. So,
Not that you needed it for that specific role, but it might be worth teaching somebody how to do this.
yes, it may be.
I'll spend the rest of the day attuning to them.
Okay. Well, if nobody has anything else, we'll just move on to the 14th.
How many days until we finish our long rest?
1. On the 15th, the long rest is complete.
All right. You know what? I would. So the question: the 1T armor, does it have any other alternate effects like poison resistance on it, or is it just scale mail +2 basically?
At the moment, that's what you're aware of.
I'll take a moment to cast identify on it in the morning.
It's not magical.
In that case, I would like to make it magical. I would like to make it armor of resistance poison.
Okay. Quick question: how are you gonna go about it?
Preferably through runes. I'm not sure. Is there something special I should be requesting, or?
I just meant like more of like if you were going to like infuse it with anything else, or just go with poison resistance.
Armor of resistance is on its own a magic item. If I can infuse it with something else, I'd be happy to. But I don't know what that would be at this time. Could I start with poison resistance and then move on to something else later down the line?
Well, we can look more into it if you wish. But from the like looks of it, armor of resistance determines randomly, but like if you just did like armor of poison resistance, like specifically, like that's why I was asking, because like there's different kinds, like armor of acid, armor of cold, armor of fire, etc., etc. But
Got
if you
it.
want to just do an armor of resistance like as that, then it's like a random D10, which I mean can be beneficial, but you know could also not be.
Yeah, I would. I mean, whatever it takes to get poison resistance specifically. To be honest.
I mean, you can
I mean, if I
do
can make
it
armor
like
of poison
because
resistance,
yeah, there
I'd
is
like
an
to aim for
armor of
that.
poison resistance, like, but that's like as long as it's on like a breastplate, chainmail, yada yada yada, like that's really all like it requires.
All right.
But like I said, I wanted to make sure if you wanted to go with a more specific or
Random.
the general. The general one just seems like if it works, it'll be great, but if it doesn't, then you're kind of fucked. So you might as well just pick a specific one, in my opinion.
I would prefer to. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like you'll know that this will definitely stick. I just need an Arcana check.
All right. On a scale of 1 to not fucking this up. Hashtag could be worse.
I mean, it takes. With this point, can you give me an investigation check on the Pitten? You'll note that while you've inscribed quite significant things with the Pitten in the past couple days, it doesn't seem to have lost as many charges as it had in the past. It appears to still have just over half of the charges remaining.
Okay.
Nearly, you're rough guessing 8 charges remain.
Nice. Then you can use a few on my rocking chair.
Nice. I absolutely. It's gonna be rocking chair false life.
Hey, Ava, how you
Every
doing?
time you rock it, it gives you temporary HP.
Sweet.
It'll be a necromantic rocking chair.
I guess it's a thought, right?
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily a good one, but it is a thought. All right, so
Okay, and you applied that to the +2 scale mail that you had made, right?
Ye-
All right. Well, with this being the 14th, just one more go around. Does anybody have anything they'd like to do before we move on to the 15th and the long rest is completed?
Did I complete the armor? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it just takes a day.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the armor was already completed in like the previous day's work, but the inscription, yes, that will be complete. The armor of poison resistance on your +2 scale mail.
All right. I'm calling it the Queen's Mail from now on.
What kind of mail does the queen get, though? Fan mail?
Usually spam.
I mean, you tell me. You're closer to England than we are.
Well, don't you know anything about, like, you do realize that we have a queen in Denmark as well, right?
Well, I am.
Yeah,
They
I thought
are
about that as soon
creating
as I said
quite a
it.
vast amount of magical items.
I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure
So,
most European countries
using
do.
things that they've collected
Yeah.
from
At least
enemies
the
that
Western
they've
and
killed,
Northern ones do, at
and
least.
ideas and kind of putting knowledge that they've acquired.
So
from
apologies for
previous
fucking that
battles.
up, but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, a bit more RP this session than expected, but nonetheless, quite a bit accomplished. All right, well then it sounds like that's kind of it for the day for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, okay then.
Question, Krev, do you have any stones left over?
I am not sure how many
Yes,
have I
plenty.
used. Okay.
You've used less than half.
Well, one would assume he has 2 stones left.
Hopefully.
Would you improve a shield for me with those? I'd like to
Sure.
improve the Umber shield. See if there's more benefit we can get there. Before we go get ourselves killed on an island.
I would look
Oh,
at
no,
it,
I
but I
actually
mean,
run
I'm
Monday
assuming
game,
that because
Tuesday
I
game,
couldn't
Thursday
improve the
game,
Umber
Friday
armor
game,
with stones, that the
and then
shield wouldn't
I play
either.
it Wednesday and Saturday.
I don't know. Would I?
Or we can improve a base shield. I mean, the
Well, don't we all have improved shields from when we went to the armory at the guild before?
No,
I think most
there
everyone
was-
here has a +1.
There was I mean, not too many have selected, but I believe a couple of you had already improved ones, but maybe that kind of finished it up. Overall, if you wish to work on your shield, Kadir is going to be working on the armor. That's going to take up his day. So if you want to like continue to work on it, you can, but it'll be by yourself, Krev.
Wait, what armor am I working on?
Oh, this is for still during the day of inscribing your scale mail.
Oh, I thought we were on the next day. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I mean, if we want to move to the next day, I just hadn't marked it down yet. But if we're moving to the next day, then we can move to the 15th. But that will actually be the end of the session.
Oh,
Since we're
okay.
getting at the end of the time.
Oh, and that.
Good.
But if you do want to work on it, Krev, on the day of the 14th, you can give it a shot.
Well, I think Kadir was asking if I could help someone else out with a shield, was what he was getting at. But who else uses a shield that?
No. It was to help my shield out.
Okay. I mean, is it a +1 or?
It is a +1. Yeah.
Then I could probably yes.
You can give it a shot.
All right. I'll give it a shot. This is Mason's not an advantage, right?
I do believe this is an Umber Hulk shield.
But he's adding the stones to it.
Yes. So, it will be I'll let you get a stonemason's check, but this will be with, intelligence modifier.
Ooh. All right.
Gross.
Hold on, I gotta change it.
Attempting
It
to
used-
fuse, stone to Umber Hulk chitin,
Okay.
or at least kind of bind it in some sort of way. It's gonna be require a lot of intelligence.
Well, I remember like before I started working on these, I had spent the day understanding how to attach the stone to a shield, so I wasn't sure if that was
It'll
what
help the.
gave me the bonus for
It'll
wisdom.
help my side.
Okay,
The secrets.
all right.
Secrets.
Oh, I was almost the one. I almost
Ooh.
got the reroll.
I was just about to say, like, even if it hit the 1, it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, halfling, super
Yeah.
OP.
I mean,
You're able to do so. You don't feel that you've improved the like overall, I guess, quality. Um, it looks a bit nicer.
I think it'd just take more time. All right.
And last roll of the night, Kadir, give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Did I roll a 2?
A
I mean, the
4.
die was a 4. You got a
Oh,
7.
whoops. I forgot to. There we go. I don't know why it didn't automatically add that.
All right. You'll note that a lot of these improvements aren't necessarily doing like a overall quality upgrade, if you will. But this is making it less impactful on the diamond pitten.
Okay. Essentially, it's lasting longer because of the quality of materials that it's working with.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, especially putting in more of like a I guess you could say higher quality from like what the DMG items are and all that kind of stuff. But in comparison to when you were doing it with just like regular like studded things of that nature, it seems to not be diminishing as quickly, and it almost even seems a bit easier to apply it.
Okay. Noted.
With that, that's going to be it for tonight's session. Tomorrow night we actually have off. Since we're getting near the end of that campaign, want all the players to be there in order to enjoy the, end game content. Don't want anyone to miss it as the story comes to a close. Other than that, I hope each of you had a good night and a good time tonight. And with your long rest being completed at this point, we will continue our story on the 15th when we get back. I will more than likely not be playing next week. Anticipating if my next Vax appointment goes as the last one did.
It'll
Oh,
be a little
yeah.
bit worse. Yeah.
Which is why I
It
was saying
depends
that
on the person.
the next couple
yeah.
of weeks will be a little bit wonky for us on Thursday, but we'll talk about it.
Well-
Through chat.
Well, you have to take a chance when you get a Brazilian like that. I mean,
Yeah, it hurts. But everyone have a good night. All the art you see for the characters and the logo, all done by Lady Loxer. You can find the logo down below. She does all sorts of character art. In my opinion, a pretty fair price. But of course, the more detailed, more expensive, but that'll be for you to work out with her. If you haven't already, please do drop a follow. Help support the channel. And if you're feeling extra froggy, go ahead and find the YouTube link down below. And you can check out all of the D&D VODs and, all the live streams. Just post them up in full unedited so you can practically see how stupid I am most of the time. But everyone have a good night and see you next time.
Take care.
yeah,
Bye bye.
yeah, I definitely need to leave it.